Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Question Day. It's gonna be a fun one, open topic. Here is the intro. Hey everyone, this is Darren Bus for Paranormal Question Today. Just coming up Monday, we are having an open topic night. It's not too often I do these, but when I do, they're a lot of fun. So get involved, grab your soda, grab a popcorn, and let's have some fun. We're coming up next. And we are live, and hope everybody's doing. Hi, Amy. Um, just trying to get back in the swing of things again. Taryn should be coming on momentarily when she gets time. But yeah, it's open topic night, like I said before. So it's Monday. What do you want to talk about? Hope everybody had a good Christmas, good New Year's. It's okay for here. It's all right. Um, Other than that, I mean, New Year, um, new things coming up. Um, Gonna be hopefully doing some more investigating. The museum doesn't open up until February 17th for the third annual uh, Valentine's investigation, which we are having Travelers Moon this year as stars of the show. I like to change it up every year and have different people on. Yeah, Para 2024, yeah. Now we talk about Broadhead, Amy. Is that what you're talking about? The museum after, I should say, the Valentine's investigation will be open for the weekend, or I should say, every weekend. For so many months, and that I do like to give my crew a breather every once in a while. So there may be some dates on weekends where I will just completely shut it down, just to give everybody a breather. It gets a little strenuous when you're there all the time, so. So Broadhead, Amy. Yeah. So with thing with Broadhead this year, I know we talked about getting a table and stuff, and I still got to figure out a way to get there. Marsha will not be going, so there's that to be had. So I'll have to figure out a ride. I have some ideas. There is a team that um, I will potentially investigate with a little bit more this year. That is Phantasm Paranormal. So that'll be a lot of fun doing stuff there. Amy and Scott and I can get together and do some investigations. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. It's just more so for travel wise on my end. So um, yeah, that's just kind of how it's gonna go. So other than that, Spirits in Spring is coming up in June 1st and 2nd at Broadhead Manor. Um, I was supposed to have Nick Sarlo on to talk about specifics and details with that, but we have not come together to do a show on that yet. So, kind of just waiting on him when he wants to do it, and then we'll have a show about it. Otherwise, I can talk to Bill. Have Bill come on and we'll talk about stuff as well. I haven't had Bill on here in a while, so it'll be good to get him back on. So, other than that, did anybody get any new tech or new gear this year? far as like Christmas wise and New Year's. Um, I got a few things. I got a pouch, which I can hook on with my belt and put some stuff in that. I got a body cam, a small body cam, which is good. I always could use one of those. So, hey Ken, how you doing? Oh, there you go. Elgato products. Those are good products. They make good microphones and you know um, streaming gear. I like those. Stream Deck is one of the big ones, I believe. So, um, what else? Yeah, it's kind of what you know. Not a whole lot really this year as far as I end up getting a Ghost Stop battery backup, so that way my uh, my products can work. Yeah, the Stream Deck is pretty cool. I've seen it on YouTube and stuff like that. It's just for me, it's a little too pricey to use for what I do and stuff like that. So I don't have different cameras to do different angles and stuff like that. But it is a neat device because it's got the hotkeys and all that. So absolutely, yeah, body cam's not bad. I like it. It's actually beats the one that I've been buying off of Timu. Timu are absolute garbage. So if ever you do not buy anything off of Timu when it comes to body cams, uh, that sort of thing, definitely buy on Amazon. If you're gonna get a body cam, buy it on Amazon. That's the way to go. Then you know that the IR actually works. On Timu, their false advertisements they don't work very well at all. So just a little note to self. Chelates, yeah. Oh, an XLR, yep, definitely an XLR. I do have an interface that I'm using here. I do like it. It's a Manocaster. They're nice. They're cheap. They work. I did buy a headset, a new headset. Actually, it's supposed to have a mic on it. If it's a Audio Technica broadcasting mic that you see at like um, sport games and stuff like that. But as of right now, I have to figure out how I'm gonna get it to work. You should have seen the janky setup I had last time earlier today, where uh, I actually had the XLR in my interface into the microphone itself, but the headset wouldn't work because the jack is so big and it needs a small 3.5 millimeter. So I don't know if I can get adjustment to that or whatever adapter to switch it to be able to do that for the headphone part, but yeah, so I had two headphones on, one where I could hear it, and then the other one where the mic would work. So it was like a dual headset. It looked funny and janky, but I thought, hey, I'll go with it, and don't care if anyone laughs. But it worked out fine. And my son saw it, and it's like, you ain't doing that. That's all straight up ghetto. And I'm like, well, what do I care, you know? So anyhow, I'll figure it out. It's either that or get a new interface, and I have to look into some ones that aren't so expensive. Yeah, poor green screen. Yep. Don't have any of those. Oh, okay. I don't know if they did that. That's interesting. Final Cut Pro. Okay. I usually use CapCut for all my stuff. Looking at DaVinci Resolve. We just got a new computer here for Christmas, so that's one thing I am looking into. But I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, Brenda, how you doing? It can be a hit or miss, Temu. There's some products that were okay. I was all right spending $3 on some stands that I use for laser grids and stuff like that. So that was actually a hit. Their laser grids that they have are all right, but they don't have certain colors that I prefer. Um, I thought I was getting green, but I ended up getting red and did not like that. But even then, I got the green and it still didn't show up very good. So. But if you want, some ghost hunting stuff, you can get it off of Temu. It's just you gotta be very picky what you get. I mean, you can get K2s off there for I think $11, but there again, how modified are they, and do they really work? Yeah, whatever works is right. Yep. I don't care if I look so janky with a weird head setup. I mean, it give you all a good laugh for today, but my son said no. True, true. Okay, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things about DaVinci Resolve I do like. They have a pro version, which I think is like the black or um, oh, I forgot what it's called. It's an upscale version. Um, can't remember what it's black something I think. Black Magic I think it is. Black Magic. Which it would tie into the Black Magic cameras and all that stuff. I get that. Black Magic is a good camera, but when it comes to paranormal investigations, they're to me they're a little bit too much on the expensive side of things. I mean, I can't see myself spending $1,000 to $1,500 on a camera. Um, yeah, Laurie. Yeah, always learning. That's the thing. You always gotta learn, and this paranormal field is not a field that you can say one and done, and I know everything. It's a learning process. No matter because new gears come out every 6 months, just like TVs come out every 6 months, stuff like that. So you gotta understand that with technology and the evolving uh, side of things with that, there's always a learning curve, and sometimes for those of you that get it, and then there are some that just don't. Um, and there are some pieces of equipment I do have trouble understanding, which is the SLS. I'm on the fence with that one a little bit. The XLS I think is pretty cool because it's 3 dimensional. Really casts out the room. What I don't like about it as much as that it doesn't mirror the image. So when you're looking at like off the camera and ahead of you, it's flipped on the screen. So it kind of lose your sense of direction where you are in a room sometimes. So that's kind of things I don't like. What you should for when you spend $700 for an XLS, you should have the capabilities of mirroring the room to have it look the way it should look on your screen. So but that's my opinion. This field is heavily based on opinions, and yeah, I mean that's just my thought of that. Um, so, um, what else? But yeah, as far as tech goes, yeah, Timu, I've had my phone for a long time, and I've deleted the app off my phone and just got out of the Temu craze because I felt it was kind of a wasted time. So, um, I just get a lot of my stuff off of Amazon. So, um, what else? That turn should be on in a little bit. Um, anyhow, anybody got some good investigations that they're going to this year that they're looking forward to going to? I know Amy and Scott and I will be going on some. Hey, Denise. We'll be let's see, September 20th and 21st. We'll be heading to Edinburgh Manor. So teaming up with Midwest Spear Seekers on that investigation. So Amy and Scott, if you'd like, you can join up with us there. I might have some people from Phantasm Paranormal come with me, just because A, I don't have a ride down there, and B, it'd be a good thing for them to get there. So a few of them, I'm sure, have not. Um, okay, so you have the Klondike Hotel on the first weekend in February. Okay, very nice. I've heard about that place. I've uh, no, it's very actively haunted. So I've seen a lot of that in Short Bus Paranormal stuff. Hey, Penny, how you doing? All in caps. Um, let's see. Definitely got the museum quite a few times. I have a video to finish up at the museum with a special guest that is giving a tour, so I gotta get that done. Uh, Elite Paranormal has some cool things for gadgets. Okay. Hmm. Etsy. Yeah, I've been on Etsy a little bit. Yeah. I've been kind of looking at the action camera market a little bit. I there's some that you can find on Amazon, but they're not as good. There's a lot of other ones I found are a little bit more expensive that uh, falls in under the criteria that I'm looking at under low light capabilities. So that is a thing. Um, but it's gonna take some time because they're a little more on the expensive side, so I gotta save up for those to get those. But once I do have one, it'll be pretty nice to do some filming with it. I got my phone to do the filming, and that only could do so much in low light. Um, Obviously, if you got IR, you can do pretty well with the body cams and uh, whatnot for that. But oh yeah, speaking of body cams, so I had a Phasm cam from Ghost Stop. Had is the word. Um, and I got this stick that's USB. You could charge your device while you're carrying it around. I mean, you've seen it on Ghost Hunters where he's got the Phasm cam and Phasm light on it with Jason carrying it, and it charges it as it you're carrying it, so it doesn't die. And that's the whole point of the battery pack stick. Uh, oh yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, Travis has got a lot of cool stuff too. So if you Travis Wazaki Paranormal, Wazaki Paranormal, go to him for a lot of gear because he will help make you stuff that you want. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I just want to mention Wazaki Paranormal. Definitely go with him. He can set you up with a pretty cool looking REM pods, different ideas. If whatever idea you have in mind, he'll work with you. He's got the cigarette REM pods. He made me a cigar box REM pod, and those are more trigger based REM pods. But you know it's convenient for a lot of locations that we are uh, doing investigations at. So they're very resourceful and useful in these situations. Um, so I just want to get that out there. He's available in Iowa, in the Council Bluffs area, I believe. Um, Now, Phasicam, yes. So I had a battery charge or a battery pack, if you would, uh, stick is one of those long sticks and stuff like that, and it's supposed to charge your device as you keep going, and as the stick itself is charged. Um, and there's Taryn. How you doing?
Hi, my computer was running so slow. I messaged you to tell you that I was getting
Yeah, I
on.
got it. I got it.
Okay, good. All right, good. How
I,
are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
oh, that's all right. It's New Year. Kind of getting back in the swing of things because I've been off for quite a while. So I just needed the break.
Hey, everybody needs that.
So, but I was just in the middle of talking about the Phasm Cam and gear and what gear to buy, what gear not to buy, where to go, where not to go, that sort of thing. Investigations, kind of stuff, what's lined up, what's new for this year. We were just talking about the Phasm Cam that Jason Haas likes to carry around a lot, and I had this um, battery life, battery saving stick, and that is where um, I'm just kind of getting caught up with the questions here myself. And so anyhow, I was just talking about it. I got the stick. My mom got it for me for Christmas. I plugged it into my Phasm Cam, and within 5 minutes, it put a blaze to the camera and the stick at the same time,
Wait, what do you mean? It caught fire?
almost until I unplugged it. Like the cord melted, almost.
Wow.
So it was a defective product. So we ended up sending it back, and I got a different product. It was actually $10 cheaper. So and it works better.
Well, that's good. See, this is honestly what the heck? Sorry, something popped up on my computer. This is equipment is kind of foreign to me, only because I'm not a big equipment user. Um,
Yeah.
I do use stuff. I do for me that's the I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like when I use like I have a trigger prop. I have
Hmm.
Zeus. I used to have an Ovilus. I gave it away. I've really given away a lot of my stuff that I bought over the years that are like equipment made for ghost hunting.
Hmm.
I have all my recorders. I never leave home. I have like 7 voice recorders, 8, 7 or
I just sold one.
8. And, but I have, like I said, I have a trigger prop that I use. Um, and, what else do I use? I'll put out the cat balls, and I
Yep,
know that
got
they're
those.
the cat balls I'll put out, or, stuff like more like trigger prop type stuff, not so much anything else. Like, and I don't just like if a cat ball goes off, I don't think that that is paranormal. Like I would need more to happen. Like I would need something significant to happen um to back that up. You know what I mean? Like I'd have to see a shadow or hear a voice or something happen to help back whatever was going on up. I mean, I'll use it in hopes that it's helping me to communicate, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? EVPs and stuff, but I don't really
See, up in the Midwest here, we use our cat balls a lot, and it's more of it's one of those things. It kind of get like if you go to Melbourne Manor, and Denise can vouch for this one. It kind of helps where it, you hear footsteps a lot at Melbourne Manor. I mean, it's all over the place. And when you have cat balls all over the place, it's kind of like you run into a game. Like, okay, where you are, okay, over here. Now we're moving there, over
right.
there. It's like cat
Yeah,
and
I
mouse in
mean,
a
like
way.
whatever you use them for,
Yeah,
I mean, however you choose to use them to communicate or to try to communicate or maybe try to, help that process, is good. I mean, even alone, whether or not you like, if I had the cat balls out and and like one go and one of them lights up, I'll use that to try to maybe ask some questions,
right.
because, and like hopefully on my recorder I get an EVP,
Yeah.
and but I wouldn't just use that alone as evidential,
No, no,
you know.
you got to have different things out there with it. I mean, recorders
I'm trying
definitely,
to think what else
cameras
I use.
definitely.
I could because I carry around some other stuff. I did have another trigger prop. It was a train. Um, but that broke. So I can't use that anymore. A lot of my stuff is, I had a real time EVP at one point, but then,
Hmm.
now I learned you can do that just by putting headphones in, and you can do that yourself. But that
Oh
broke.
yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think what else I use.
Yeah, I just sold a Tascam. I had a recorder because I just
Or I
I
have.
don't I didn't like it. I
And
didn't like
I'll try and I'll oh, you didn't?
no, it was too much of an issue with my Tascam. Um, it could be just me not having it set up properly. I feel a lot of times I would get interference with it more. So I end up not using it and getting a Philips recorder that actually works 10 times better, in my opinion, and more clean.
Mm.
Just the other day, I was going through some EVPs that I should have done long time ago, but I just
I
kind of
got
put it
it.
off, put it off.
Same.
Uh, but there was one where we were at Broadhead Manor, and we were in a janitor's office, or room, I should say, and we were getting thuds like crazy. Every time we would ask a question, we were just getting thuds. I mean, just absolute loud thuds. Um, and at one point, there we are all kind of asking a lot of questions here, there, and here and there, which when you start asking questions, it's kind of hard to stop. Um, but when there was a break, and all of a sudden you hear is, "Get me out of here," in a low voice, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" Plain as day, Class A EVP. Get me out of here.
You heard that with your ears or you caught it on the recorder?
Had it on my headphones and caught it on the recorder.
So you heard it because you were doing real time.
So, well, I mean, that's just going over evidence yesterday.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Not on the same point in time. No, I was just going
You
through
heard it
stuff
afterwards.
yesterday,
You
and
heard it going through.
I was going through it, and I caught it on the recorder. It was like
Oh, that's awesome, Darren.
plain as day,
I would
in
love to.
male voice. Get me out of here.
I want to
It
hear it.
was it was so cool.
I love
Um,
EVPs. That's my favorite thing to capture.
well,
My
and it is. I do like catching them too. It's just they're more tedious and time consuming because you have long sessions.
But to me, it's worth it because to me, that's the hardest thing to explain.
Yep, yep. And debunking is hard. I mean, there's things in there you could debunk and say, "Yep, this is absolutely something else." So
For me, also EVP, I hear disembodied voices a lot.
okay.
Everybody says I have bionic ears, right? And
See, I don't have that. That's more of I have to have the assistance of enhancements like hearing aids in a way.
right.
Um,
I can hear and you catch it on the recorder. So I it validates for me that I'm really hearing this and I'm not batshit crazy like most people will think. But and I play it right back for everybody. You know what I mean? When we're in the room, we'll play it back. And I mean, it's happened several times. And I love that. So for me, that's why I can't stand like spirit boxes and stuff like that because of those noises are constant.
oh,
So
pink
for me,
noise.
yeah, so the
Yeah, I
noise,
can't do that either.
and for me, I it drowns out, me being able to hear.
Hmm.
And I don't like it, and I have ADHD, so it distracts me. So I have done that what's it called, the Estes method or whatever. I have
Yep,
done that. Um, it's
it's hard.
easy. It's easier when you're blindfolded, so that kind of like you kind of get drowned.
Oh, sensor deprivation. Yeah.
But the noise, because my ears are so sensitive, and you know what I mean. So it's hard for me to do it, and that's why I don't like when people put on the spirit boxes and stuff because that
Hmm.
and then all that kind of stuff. I would rather hear them with my ears.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had it, but there's some I've caught a disembodied voice once at the museum, and that was interesting because I was playing back a video I was doing, and certainly his voice is going through that video, and I think that the little girl recognized the voice on the off of my phone, and that's where I heard um, that voice come into play, and Lori was next to me, and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" And we were just talking, and I
Right?
was playing the
Yeah.
video for somebody.
Like for me, how does anybody explain that?
Yeah,
Like there's a live. I have a live. Well, I put it up on my YouTube, and I believe it's in Paranormal Brews videos
Hmm.
on the page. But I was live at Selma Mansion, and everybody that was there for the investigation was in one room. And as I'm live, behind me, you hear a whistle,
Mm.
right? So I'm like, did anybody just, you hear me start to go, did anybody just whistle? And only one other person in that whole place heard it, even though all of us are sitting there, right? And nobody whistled. But I
Mm.
caught it on the live. People watching said they heard it,
Yeah.
like, and you could how do you explain that? There was nobody,
You can't. It's
right?
just one of those things. It's
So
just
to me,
you hear it, and that's a personal
but
event.
everybody heard it because it was audible, like it was a disembodied voice. It wasn't
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah. No, I get it. And
I
aim. I was gonna just ask this, answer this question. Go to Menards. That's where I got my headphones from, Amy. Uh, but yeah, when you come across stuff like that, it's hard to disclaim it because it's like you all heard it at the same time. So
only two of us heard it.
only two of you heard of it.
Me and one other person that was in the room, and it was the guy that was the furthest away from the door.
Okay, so how many people were in the room with you?
There was, don't quote me on this, it's on the live, you can see it. There was probably about 10 to 12.
Okay, so 2 out of the 10,
Yep.
and that goes to show that a lot of us can't hear that stuff. You
But
know.
no, but then we play it back and it's like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody heard it. Everybody heard it on the live. Everybody was commenting like we heard that. We heard that. And for me, that is worth it. If that's the only thing I got from that night,
Mm-hmm.
that to me is worth everything.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. I've seen maybe one or two shadow people in the time I've been investigating, and believe me, it's hard for me enough as it is to find shadow people.
Yeah.
But there are, like I said, I'm gonna bring up Melver Manor again. I mean, that place is constantly booming.
Mhm.
Um, you know, there are people that won't go up in the attic by themselves. I did just because I wanted to. Um, but there again, I was talking to my friend, um, our Raven Rose, and we were in a room, and he was messing around with the captain and talking about the captain, and he got scratched right on the spot.
Mhm.
And it's like, and nobody else did. I'm like, holy crap, you saw
Yeah.
it right there, right in front of your eyes.
Yeah. Well, being
So,
scratched doesn't necessarily mean bad, you know?
no, it's just letting know he was here. He was hearing our conversation.
Yeah. I've
Uh,
only seen what I believe to be was one shadow. Actually, I don't even think it wasn't a shadow. I've only seen one time where it looked like remember, did you see the first American Horror Story, The Haunted House?
mm-mm, never got into that show.
So the first one had this, you know, the blue men group or whatever, how they have those
Yep,
tight blue
yep.
suits.
I've been to
Well,
Vegas. I saw them.
okay, so imagine it being a black suit.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I saw for literally a split second ever in my life. And it was recent, and it was when I was on vacation and I wasn't
Hmm.
ghost hunting or doing anything.
Well, that's when things happen.
So, like I said, for me, disembodied voices or EVPs
Hmm.
are the most, I think, the most astonishing evidence anybody can get. If it's a legit EVP and a legit, the disembodied voices and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and it happens a lot too. I mean, in some locations you may not get nothing that whole 8 to 10, 12 hours you're there, but like I said, I always figured have a discussion amongst the group. When you're talking and you're just not paying attention to the spirits, that's when they act. That's when they play.
So true. I mean, it happened to us at Hinsdale. That's why
Yeah.
I had my recorders going the entire time because you never know. I mean, we were just talking and we heard footsteps going across the kitchen floor.
Right.
And we
Right.
got it on record, but we all heard it. We thought it was actually one of the other girls coming in. And when they never came in, we realized like some shit was going down. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's just one of those things that we
Do you want me to do the comments or are you gonna do them?
Oh, sorry.
No, no, no. I'm asking.
You can do them if you want. That's fine. I'm just going through them a little bit.
Uh,
Sneaky, yeah.
where? I want to see
Um,
the cat. I want to see the cat.
oh, my fat cat. He's around. He's over in the corner. He's too heavy to lift.
Yeah, so EVPs in here. So I really, I've never seen an apparition, but I have captured one on photo, and that's it. Of the millions of photos I have taken in this journey, one apparition.
Well, I haven't seen one yet. I mean, that's and
Miss.
some,
I called it
and,
miss.
and I've seen a
One,
mist, if you want
one
to call
miss.
that. I mean, we were at oh, where was this? We were in the Carolinas. No, was it Carolina? Gatlinburg. Biltmore. We were at the Biltmore Estate. Okay. So me and my buddy, this is going back like 20, 30 years. We were at the Biltmore Estate, went on vacation. We went back, but we're in the day they had shacks where they held their slaves. And we were walking back and I took a picture of a few things and I came home and I got the pictures printed. And here on a clear day, walking down the path, you get this mist that's all right in front of me.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
saw it.
I was like, and I didn't see the mist in front of me personally, but it was in the picture.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So it's like I was always trying to find that picture and I could never find it again. But
Oh, I have
uh,
mine. I have mine.
it was interesting. It was
Yeah.
very interesting. Um, I would definitely say that place is haunted indeed, but you're not allowed to investigate the Biltmore Estate because it's number one, it's so huge.
You're not
Um,
allowed?
hmm?
You're not allowed to?
No, you can't investigate that location. And it's too much of a private location. I mean, they got horse stables and all that stuff,
Oh,
and
you mean it's still occupied?
yeah, oh yeah.
But
Well,
they
it's occupied, but it's also it's part of the historical system. So they pretty much, I don't think they'll let you do it. I don't think
hmm.
so, unless it's on Ghost Hunters first, then you know you can. Um, but other than that, I mean, that was like I said, that was about 30 years ago. God, I feel old now.
Brenda said, I captured an apparition in my living room that I have not shared on our page yet. I believe it was my daughter. That's awesome.
Wow,
I'm glad that you had that experience.
very
Um,
interesting.
Hour is on video also. It's impressive. That's awesome. So happy for you that you had that connection.
Yeah,
Not a lot of
yeah.
people do. I do this and I'm like, my dad's passed, right?
Hmm.
So, you know, I remember when I started to get into this, I was talking to him, and I'm just like, look, all right, I'm not afraid of ghosts anymore. So, you
Right.
can come see me, you can come talk to me, and um I've had one visit dream and that's it. Like I have not been able to connect with
Hmm.
my dad. Like in like being awake and doing, you know what I mean? Or
Right.
anything like that. Like I've felt signs from him and I do get signs that he's around, but as far as like seeing him or like hearing his voice, like as well as I can hear disembodied voices, you would think that I would be able to hear his, and I have never been able to hear it. I wish one day I do. I would love to hear
Hmm.
his voice, but I haven't yet.
Hmm.
So I think it's awesome she had that experience with her daughter. That's awesome.
See, I'm trying to find a camcorder that's gonna film more than 15 minutes and not overhaul what I just filmed.
Den- Denise Fludge says, I felt my sleeping bag get tugged back while trying to sleep in room 105 in Edinburgh in November. I
Hmm.
was so tired by 4 a.m. I fell asleep. That's cool. That's always cool when you get those unexpected things. And I was at the Shanley Hotel,
Hmm.
and it felt I had 5 cats. Cats are the love of my life. Look, I have a tattoo that has a heartbeat and a cat in the middle. So I love cats. I know cats. And I was laying in one of the beds and I remember feeling what felt like a cat that would be like stretching up and like going like this on the side of the bed,
Hmm.
and then jumping up and kneading, you know, for like
Right.
it was so quickly, but I felt it enough to like look down and be like, they have a cat here, you know,
Hmm.
and there was nothing there. I never knew that that was one of the claims because I said something to the owner the next day. I told her, I was like, yeah, it felt like there was a cat eating. And she goes, it's one of the things that people say. She goes, were you in this bed? And I said, yep. And she goes, yep, that's the bed. I had no idea.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so let's talk a little bit about
Oh, that's
social.
wait a second. Denise said while she was getting her sleeping bag tug, two others in the room felt something poking their legs at the same time.
That makes sense.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
Well, does that mean that there's more than one, or does that mean that it's just able to affect people at the same time?
Both hands.
But there were two. That mean they have to have three hands, or they used a foot, or there was more than one spirit.
And there's more than one spirit at Edinburgh. I can definitely tell you that. There's more than one.
Well, I know, but I mean at that time.
Oh,
What?
I know at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on where they're at and what part of the building. It's a place I'll be going back in September for 2 nights. My first 2 nights at one location. Um, and it'll be interesting to see how much more we get on the second night than we do on the first night. Which I fully intake that. Yes, I've been there once. Probably not a whole lot will happen on the first night, just because they're probably still trying to figure you out. Um, I did get touched in the face the first time I was there when I was doing a tour with Cat Armstrong. Um, so that was interesting. And after that, it did get kind of wild, and I could not go into the boiler room. Something just told me no that night, that I just couldn't do it. Um, it was too much of a weird feeling for that room where I felt like. You ever felt like you go in a room and you feel like you're gonna get jumped from behind?
No, but I have. If I would feel like maybe something was behind me, I have felt
Yeah,
that, and that it did the way like it wasn't just like oh something you felt like someone was staring at you or standing there. Like yes, I've had. I can tell my story after you're done yours.
yeah. But it's like, yeah, where I thought I saw something in the boiler room, they have told me that, well, that's kind of odd because that's not normal where they see something. Where I did see something in a total different other side of the room, and I just felt like I can't be in here because I feel like the moment you turn that light off, I'm gonna get jumped. And that's the thing with that room, is the way how it runs is it's a game changer as soon as you turn that switch off and
Yeah.
turn the light off. It could
Yeah.
completely change the complexion of the room,
Hmm. Interesting.
and I just couldn't do it. I Now next time when I go back in September, I'm gonna fight through that and go do it. I mean, I just gotta bite my tongue and do it.
Yeah. I mean, you
Can't
know
be
what?
afraid of
I
stuff.
would do the same thing. If something freaked me out, I would make myself go back and just try to work through it. I would. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a different team with me. So it's gonna be interesting, to say the least. I love Edinburgh Manor, so
yeah, I had that happen to me once where I was at my aunt's house, who's like my second home. Like I have a key. I go in there whenever I want, you know. So the house is active. You know, we know that it has been. I mean, I've had my ankles grabbed in her house, like jokingly. You could tell it was a joke.
hmm.
Um, things have happened. You hear things, see things a lot. But this one night, I was standing with my back to one of her bedrooms, and I was standing outside waiting for the bathroom door. They're like this, you know.
Hmm.
I already put those comments up.
Did you? Oh, didn't see me again. Sorry, it's me.
God.
I'm just it's me. Sorry, I get used to it. Keep going with your story.
So yeah, so as I'm standing there, I heard foot. Now she has it's carpeted floor, but I heard footsteps in the room behind me, and I thought, and I went like this, and I thought it was Rob. Like it was the footsteps were that dense. I thought it was a person, you know.
Okay.
So I turned like this, and I was like, nobody was there, and I was like, he's trying to scare me, right? So I thought, so because when I could turn like this, like behind me was a wall that went and then had to turn back this way, so I couldn't see this side of the room from where I was standing. So
Yeah.
I thought he went behind the wall and was going to jump out and scare me,
Mm.
right? So I turn around like this, and I felt like if something came right up behind my back, and I just got this feeling, like this, like instant scared feeling inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was scared.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to turn around. I didn't turn around. I was a chicken shit. I was like, I was like this. I just started to walk straight. I didn't turn around, but I just felt like I had to get away from whatever was there. And I just kind of went like this and went far enough away. And then I turned around and nobody
Yeah.
was
See,
there.
for me, like I said, it's with my vision issues. Everybody knows I have vision issues. Uh, I would have a hard time dealing with that. But man, just imagine the thought if I had robot eyes or bionic eyes. Man, that'd be cool. If I could see all that stuff, I could see everything that I wanted to see with bionic eyes. That'd be
You
awesome.
mean like have like you be able to see on every light spectrum and
Yeah,
all that.
everything. Like I'd just be beyond 2020 with robot eyes. I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool as shit. I quit my job and go
A
do a.
full spectrum is really cool.
So okay, now speaking of full spectrum, uh, with all the different colors, they're part of the full spectrum. Okay, do you feel that a certain color will activate more spirits to come to it or run away from it? And if so, what color do you feel that the spirits would be more like want to come towards?
I think that it's hard to say because so I'll just use my two pictures as an example. The the apparition photo or the supposed apparition photo. I'm not going to say 100%, but the supposed, or I believe it's to be an apparition. Um, that was taken with just a regular digital camera.
Mm-hmm.
My Sony. When I told you I have that mist photo,
Mm-hmm.
I was using my full spectrum camera. So the apparition came out. We would think because it was able to, you know, complete a form and show itself. You know what I mean? Like it looks like a Confederate soldier.
Right.
So you know, and I don't tell people that. They look at it and they go, "Oh my god, it looks like a Confederate soldier." Um, that's even in color. Like there, you can see the color. So for it to be that strong, was it was it the camera or was it the environment?
True.
However, both pictures were taken in Gettysburg, not just at the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever taken a FLIR out there,
No,
or some like to call it a FLIR?
clear. Yeah, that's what I call it. See, that's the other thing I was going to say about equipment is I will use equipment, but I want equipment that's not made for ghost hunting. Like
Yeah.
a FLIR isn't made for ghost hunting, but we can use it, right?
Right. Yeah. It's made for temperature controls and see what fluctuates and what makes
Yeah.
it fluctuate
So
and
I like stuff.
casts as an imprint.
Yeah, like I like stuff, but I also use stuff to try to like look for things that could be now if it's a private home or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
I'll use a carbon monoxide detector. I use a whatever, to see because that stuff can cause hallucinations. They can cause sicknesses. They can cause this and that. So for
And even if you sit in the dark for so long, that can also mess with you too.
Mhm. Yeah, and EMF, high EMF
Mm.
can make people sick, can make people
Oh
hallucinate.
yeah, well, you get that
That
fa-
high exposure
Faraday cage, or however you want to say it. I always call it the Faraday cage.
yeah.
Um,
Like
so
clock radios. They have
yeah,
and most people put them at their nightstand by their heads.
yeah,
You know, the EMF that comes off of those things, I'm sure people don't really own them anymore. You know what I mean? But the EMF, I mean, a lot of times we go to a lot of private houses. The
hmm
EMF on that was just insane. So we would tell them, get a new clock radio.
yeah,
Things of that nature. You know what I mean? Because so I like to use stuff like I would love to get myself on some like army grade, like like the flares they use or the night vision cameras they use and shit.
No, well, the thing is that you can get higher expensive stuff. Like Ghost Hunters, what they have is they got that big honking gun that they use, and those things are 2, 3 grand.
Yeah,
So
no.
I mean, they're not a
Yeah, of course. I mean, this would
yeah,
be if I like won the lottery.
yeah. See, I like to use another thing too. I have put it on my mind to think about using maybe a night vision binoculars.
Mhm.
There's some that I found that it has a screen right to it, so you can mount it to a tripod, and you can just sit there and look at the screen, and it's all night vision, so I don't have to even put it up to my eyes.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought about, and it's got HDMI to it, so I thought, well, maybe if I like put a mount on there and add it to like an external screen up above it,
Mhm.
so you can actually watch it right there. Um, So that's something I was flirting with the idea of just having to really found the right unit I want to use. Um, but
You know what I love?
what's that?
You know what I love? I don't know if anybody remembers these, but the old school, tri-field meters.
Oh yeah, you can only get
Old
those in
school,
England now.
like the dial, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, god, I
yeah,
love
and those are going expensive too.
I know, and I could have just bought one for like $90 back in the day, but I never did. No, actually, they were never 90.
Well, and the thing is nobody knew what they're using it for. Even today, with the new digital one out there for
I have a
170
digital
bucks.
one. I don't know how to use it, and I hate it because it's not the analog, like it's not the dial. I don't like the electronic. To me, electronic, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
Well, and a lot of times, a lot of us like to go analog stuff. I like to do analog stuff and put down powder for
Yep,
footsteps,
yeah,
but a
powders,
lot of places don't allow that.
compasses,
Compasses. I
compass.
mean, I
You know,
have a thing for footstep tracking that sometimes just doesn't do anything
you
because
want
they
to talk
don't know
about
how.
motion detectors, right? The motion detector I use.
Yeah, I
It's
got one too.
it's literally it's a Halloween decoration. It's a Halloween prop because it's a motion detector, but it's a little ghost,
Hmm.
and you put it on there every time somebody walks by it. It goes woo, woo, right? I'm like, well, it wasn't made for ghost hunting. It was
Yeah,
made to for motion. You know what I
to
mean? To
scare
go
the
off.
shit out of people.
Yeah. So guess what? It's getting added to my equipment. I'm just going to put it up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Now, could there be a fault in that? Absolutely. I would also
sure.
need more stuff to go along with that with it out just going off by itself. But it still would be cool for it to go off by itself. When nobody's
Well, I
around.
was Yeah, it would be cool for it to go off by itself. I mean, I had one out in the jail when I was sleeping in Ed's cell over the
And it's
night.
loud. It is
Yeah.
so loud. So you could put it anywhere. And let's
Hmm.
say you have 4 people there. All 4 of you are in one room and stay together, and you have this thing on like another floor or somewhere else where you know nobody is at,
Hmm.
and it goes off. That's cool. Because
Yeah.
how do you know what I mean? Like that's something. I mean, you go investigate it, but still, I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah. I flirted with String with Bells by Steps. But then there were some sensors that you could put to kind of like make a makeshift like line. If they break this line, a buzzer's gonna go off.
Mm.
I've been looking at those. And then I've been looking at the dead bell from Ghost Stop because I like the idea behind it. It's all only based off of EMF.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we and bells in general, like hotel bells. Those are really cool gadgets because you want to see if a spirit can actually push it and make it go off. Um, with the dead bell, you can go off of EMF, and once it goes off, it'll ding itself. And then I've seen full on conversations with the dead bell on YouTube. Paranormal Quest has it. And I was watching an episode with them when they're in a hospital, an active hospital. And
There were still residents there.
Um, check that. Just closed. Sorry, just closed.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, I was gonna
but
say.
it just closed, but active enough where you know they want to go in there right away while the still activity was, you know, they think that it's still in up and going. Um, but they had a great conversation with that dead bell. I mean, I was like, holy crap! I'm like, I really want to get one of those because of the conversation they had. It was on point. Ask so many things. Give me so many dings for this question, and it would go off for 3, 4, 5.
That's
You
cool.
know, so it's a very useful item, and there's a lot of people that do use hotel bells, or like if you go to like a Family Dollar, they at the cash register they have a bell like ding it for service, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna get one of those.
So, but just fair warning that the dead bell is $200.
No, no, I'm gonna get a ding.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
gonna get a
it's
cheapy little bell.
yeah. So it's a very useful item. I'm sure it's selective places that will really benefit. Like if you go to old hotel, you know, like the Shanley Hotel, um, there I think you would get a lot of usage out of it. Um, you know, it all really all
Various
depends,
places, yeah.
the location depending. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. So like I
You
was
know,
saying before, um, I kind of want to break into like social media and doing live investigations and stuff like that. Um, and do you do you feel that when you do live investigations, do you think it hinders your investigation a little bit more because you're paying attention to the comments and you're doing your investigation, but then you kind of like me sometimes I get lost into as to what I'm actually doing. Um, or do you think it's a more helpful tool that people can sit there and say, "Hey, I saw this, I saw that," but can you can't just take that for evidence because if they saw it and you didn't see it, so it's their personal evidence. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, absolutely. No.
So,
No, well,
um,
we talked a little bit about it. I mean, for me, I I love going live during investigations. I don't know how to edit or anything like that.
yeah,
So, you're either gonna see a recorded video or you're gonna see live, and I prefer live because if something happens like what happened at Selma Mansion with the whistle,
hmm,
people get to witness that as well.
right,
And they know I'm not how can I be I'm not making it up, I'm not editing it, I'm not doing anything, you
right,
see everybody in the raw, the reactions and what we talk about, like and it's really how an investigation is supposed to it goes. Like everybody can watch TV and see, the closest thing to, without a camera people being there and this and that, the closest thing is ghost hunters, right? I
hmm,
mean, they keep it real, yes, it's a show, yes, there are things that they do for entertainment, you know what I mean? But they don't fake anything.
right.
So, and they,
I
and
mean,
they,
I know at one point they were asked to fake something and they just walked away from the project. I know that.
but like, um, but I forget what I was saying now, Darren.
Faking stuff and all that stuff on lives.
That they don't fake something, right? But anyways, I don't even know where the frick I was going with that now. You interrupted me. Hold
Sorry.
on. Damn it. ADHD people. Sorry. I had a really good point too. Damn it. Um, But like I said, for me, it doesn't distract me. Why do you think I do my show? Right?
Hmm.
I love sharing I love sharing that kind of stuff with people. If people can't get to a place or they can't ghost hunt for some reason or they can't do this stuff, I want to share that with people. So
Yeah.
I love when people watch and I don't I'm not doing anything different because I'm live
Hmm.
as that what I would be doing if I wasn't live. So the comments and stuff like that, yeah, sometimes if there's something going on and this and that, I won't be I'll have to go back and reread the comments and stuff. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I keep an eye on it because I want the people watching to interact. I want them to tell me, how they're feeling about it, what they think, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I usually have someone else do that for me because I'm not as quick as to the comments like everybody else is. Even going on TikTok. That's one thing I've never done is gone live on a TikTok before because I hate it because it's so freaking small to read. Um,
Yes, Carmen. Carmen said some places it's hard to do a live reception, not strong, but if you do, it's nice to catch what you. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I mean, it's like I said, it's one of those things that I'll try to work on as much. I know towards the end of the season, I just wasn't going live as much as because I just want to be in the moment and enjoy the time of investigating and
mhm,
not having to go live.
yeah,
I think a lot of people have seen enough of the museum where if you really want to see more of the museum, you got to get down to the museum and investigate.
yeah.
So, um, the, I have to
And I,
say,
and I and I like to go. I do love to go live, and so I don't go live that often. And unfortunately, not a lot of people watch the real investigations because they watch the YouTube stuff, and that's fine.
yeah,
At least it's there. They, the YouTube, the videos will always be there, because then they save.
yeah,
So, hopefully one day people watch it. Hopefully people start to get interested in the more boring, investigations because, I'm telling you, on those investigations, shit happens. It's just
yeah.
not, you're not seeing it edited and you're not seeing it, faked. It doesn't happen like that.
It's just a matter of time if you catch something, and that's why I do prefer the Facebook over to YouTube because of number one, it's a lot of my friends that are doing it, so I'll watch it and I can kid around, and joke around in chat too, but still have fun.
Yeah.
Um, but also say, hey, I thought I heard this, and a lot of times I'll wear my ANC headphones on my head when I'm watching the Facebook lives because it makes you feel like you're in the environment with them.
Mm.
And then that way you can hear a lot of different things that they may not be hearing because there's so many
It's
times
almost
that
like
can't.
you're doing a real EVP,
Yeah,
technically.
and so there's been a few times that Cat was going live, and I'm like, I had my ANC headphones on, like, somebody else in the room with you, or is there something like it? There's a train going on too. You could pick up like I could pick up a train from a distance with my headphones on. When I took them off, I couldn't hear it as much. When I
Yeah.
put them on, it's full blower.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
So
it does. I love
ANC headphones are the way to go about it if you want to watch Facebook Lives.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm telling you, the stuff it's interesting. I made the mistake though by watching a show about time lapse.
mm,
So now I'm like, are we getting glimpses of time lapses?
there's always been a glimpse of time lapse. I mean,
I mean, is that what we're experiencing?
I think so, but
No, we're not experiencing spirit then.
I mean, I call it a paranormal moment in time. Um, uh, Basically, a loss of track of mind. You're stuck in a phase of doing an EVP session in the dark, or you're doing an Estes, but you're not realizing how long you have been doing an Estes. So your state of time has lapsed because you're in a dark environment and you don't realize that, hey, I might have lost some time here not knowing that. Did I walk through a portal? I mean, portals aren't seen, you know.
Mhm.
So if you walk through one, do you lose that time? Thinking that, oh, I've only been gone for half an hour, and realistically, you've been gone for 2 hours.
Right.
So where's that other hour and a half went? What
Yeah.
happened? You
Yes,
know,
that's never happened to me, so I can't.
it's happened to me a couple of times where I lost a couple hours on a night. Like
I know people that it has happened to for sure, but
it's like 6 o'clock. I looked at the clock, and next thing I thought, it's like it's 8 o'clock. Like, where did those 2 hours go? I thought I
mhm.
was just up here for like 45 minutes. So
Uh,
it happens. That's
Kathy
why I
said
call it a paranormal event with the Amityville thing. But we won't get into Amityville.
me and Darren see differently on that.
Yes, yes, I feel very much differently on that.
Wait,
But
do you get angry with me?
no,
Oh, okay, good.
there's no reason to get
Yeah, I'm
angry
not
about
being
it
mean.
because
I'm not being mean about it.
it's your opinion,
Yeah,
and
and
I
I
have my
respect your
opinion, and
opinion.
Nathaniel has his. I
Yeah,
watched last week's.
yeah.
I was
I
off and
respect
on.
your opinion. I'm not saying that you're wrong. at
But
all.
there's no reason to get upset for a basic opinion because you're allowed to have that. It's part of life. It's part of the field because what's with the field if you can't have an opinion to it?
Exactly, Darren.
I mean, what's the point?
Exactly.
And then we
1000.
might as well just give up and throw it away and be done with it because if our opinions aren't going to be met
Or matter.
or matter, then why investigate?
Um, Kathy was saying she watched me one night at a location that was crazy active. I forget the name of the place. I want to say if it was like I want to say it was Octagon Mansion, maybe in Wytheville, Virginia, because that has left a mark in for me.
Hmm.
That was a live one night, and it was to me. I couldn't believe. I mean, I was hearing phantom noises, disembodied voices, but on top of that, there was all kinds of stuff happening. She said, "Yeah, that's it." So I left that video up, and I like asked people to watch it. It's long, but I've asked people to watch it and critique it. Let me know what people think because
Hmm.
again, I'm not a big equipment user, and the equipment to me seemed as if it was interacting, like it was responding to direct like requests and questions. It was crazy. And I like at one point I'm like looking at the guy that was there with me, the owner, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I said to him, I'm like, are you doing something to make this happen? Because it's the most crazy interactive, you know? And and then of course I could see he wasn't. He has hands like this. He's sitting in a chair. Like I knew he wasn't doing it. Like there's no way.
Hmm.
It was crazy. I mean, and then I mean, even I had Jay, oh my God, he's gonna be so mad at me. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. It's been a long day. Jay from Studio 6 Paranormal.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh my God, he's gonna hate me. I'm sorry, Jay. I love you. Um, and I know it. It's just been a very long day.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I had him come on, and he was doing like a medium, like a virtual medium thing, and
Hmm.
he's literally we had two of those REM pods next to each other, and he's like, "All right, touch the REM pods," and they both went off, and then he said, "Okay, okay, stop." They stopped. Then he said, "Turn the one on the right on." It goes on. Then he's like, "Turn the other one on." It goes on. Like I'm literally telling you, they were like direct.
They're trained.
I don't know. So like, and then I went back and watched some of it too. And being in the moment, I think this was interesting to me because I think being in the moment when things are happening, I think you tend to get a little bit more wrapped up in
Hmm.
the moment. Right. So I went back and was watching and I'm like, you know, there were still awesome things that happened. And it was definitely, I would say it's in my top 5 locations I've been to, Um,
Hmm.
but the way I was feeling in the moment, I was like, "Oh," like, I felt like I was zacking out, like, "Oh my god." Or Aaron does that, right? Or Zach,
Were you possessed 100%
like, just like I was totally, like, left and right. I was like, "Oh my god," like, it felt
or high stepping like Aaron?
so so, like, I went back and I watched it when I was watching it, the things weren't as I don't know how to explain it because it was still awesome. I shouldn't say anymore. I want people to watch it and tell me
Yeah. I mean that's just,
what they
and
think.
then you got Nathaniel Elwell out there that does critique the videos too, which he does a
Yeah.
really good job of that. So,
But see, this
uh,
is long, because it was a whole investigation. It was like
mhm,
till 3 in the morning.
yeah,
So it's a long video. Not a lot of
yeah,
people have patience to sit through that, but I mean, it's there.
yeah. Well, I
So
mean, it'll catch somebody's eye and say, "Oh, okay, that location." Well,
yeah,
we'll sit and look.
static
Um,
cameras. Now static cameras, is that like what?
Static cameras is like when you put up a camera, you set it up, and you walk away.
So it's
Um,
like the ones that people use in the woods to capture deer and stuff like that?
Kind of like that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I do want
Trail
one.
cams,
Trail
yeah,
cams. I want a
yeah.
trail cam. I do want a trail
But
cam.
see, that's what I got like I said before about the body cams. When you got the IR that works appropriately and like it's supposed to, and shines up the room where it doesn't bright it up because the IR works really well, I'll just turn it on and I'll leave it there and I'll walk out and let it do its thing. It's my own little static camera instead of having those handheld cameras that last 15 minutes and then it overwrites your.
No, I would want the ones that people put in their backyards around trees to like
Yeah, those are trail cams.
that's what I
Those
want.
they're big though.
That's
Just keep
okay.
so. Um, but yeah, static cams are good things. I mean, like I said, the body cam I got for Christmas, I should get at least another one of those and just have little set 'em up everywhere and let it record because they can record up to 6 or 7 hours of video.
That's cool.
So that's what I like, and they have long lasting batteries, 10, 11 hours.
So I got one of those Wise cameras, like remember? You had that,
hmm
and so I got one.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
use them every once in a while.
I haven't
It's
figured
not
out
so
how to use
often.
it.
I like the one that's 360 that it spins all the way around.
I haven't figured out how to use it.
Oh, once you get a whole figured out, it's pretty easy.
I've had it
Uh,
for like 2 years, Darren.
well,
But
Wise
now
cams
it just
aren't for
sits in my
everybody.
bag. It just sits in my bag.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, I used to like when I went on my investigations. Okay, let's get the Wise cams hooked up. Let's get them hooked up. But when it comes to looking at footage, and I was always like, then I forget about them, and then I don't go back and look at it. So it's like,
See,
well, that was
if I
dumb.
got that far, I would look at them. I would watch them. But
But
and
not every location's Wi-Fi will work with them neither,
right,
and
no,
they're a
I
pain
know.
in the ass to hook
But what
up.
I'm saying is if I could get that far, I would watch them.
Yeah. So that's why now I've kind of like, okay, well, let's keep the Wise cams for something else, and let's use the body cams because it got a big enough screen. You could take the SD card out or micro SD card, put it in a reader, and look at it on your phone. And get a bigger picture. So that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, we can do another open topic night. I just figured I didn't have a. Was gonna have a guest. It was actually gonna be a recorded show tonight, but some family issues came up, and so it didn't work out as I planned. So that's why we're doing an open topic night. Let's see. I do. Give me a break here, or sorry.
Give me a break. What?
It's one of those days. You know how it is.
They get it. I forgot. Not good.
Let's see. I have another guy on next week. New paranormal team that's out there. That's on
Jay Hill.
YouTube. Huh?
Jay Hill.
You have Jay Hill. Okay.
Yes, that's who I was talking about. Kit that came on.
Okay.
Came on.
Brandon. The print's too small to read, and I'm not gonna look like an idiot on here. But Brandon is the guy I'll be having on tomorrow or on next week, Monday. We'll be talking about his group and how things have been going with that. It's just a brand new group. He's got up and going, I think, almost a year now, I want to say.
Brandon who?
Huh?
Brandon who?
No, not Brandon Hill. It's a different guy.
Brandon who?
Oh, Brandon who? Like I said, the last name. Let's see here. Blumdart? Something like that? Blumdart? That's. If you can read it, that's who's on.
No. You got
There it is.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Blumhart. It's
Blumhart.
probably Blumhart.
That's it. Sorry. I'm gonna butcher the shit out of that name. Sorry. But yeah, he's got a new paranormal group that's now almost a year. So Brandon, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You can you can slap me later. But you see me live at the location. Anyhow, it's a Monday, folks. Just like I said, getting back to the swing of things and having people on. So I will refresh and make sure I say that last name right next week. So we'll be having him on next week, and yeah, like I said, we got a few. We'll be going into February a little bit, not too much in February. I'm gonna take another break for February because I do have other obligations to tend to during the month of February. Well, I have a radio show. I have to get going on that, and
no, I said, guess what?
What?
February 21st is a Wednesday, but I won't be on that Wednesday because I'm going to see Andrea Bocelli. So I
He's a
won't be
good
on that.
singer.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Uh, Blind too.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. I have him on my playlist. Um, and actually, that's my anniversary date for work,
Oh,
21st. So it'll be 24 years.
jeez.
So, yes, long time in the factory business. It sucks. But yeah, like I said, join us next week. I'll try and pop in a little bit more of these open topics, and if somebody wants to message me and let me know of like, hey, there's a topic I really want to talk about, or can you talk about? We'll do it. I mean, it's I think it's a lot easier to get things out in the open. I think these are refreshing shows for people to just to come on in and see what the show is all about. Um, and yeah, so we're on every Monday night from here on out until some point in second week in February or third week in February, one of the two. Um, so, and then after that, I'll be taking a break again because you need to do that in this line of work. Gather
This
your
Wednesday, well,
brains.
this Wednesday, can I give a little shameless plug?
Sure, go ahead.
This Wednesday, I have Steve Gonzalez from Ghost Hunters coming on.
He's got a great book. I just audiobook read that.
I want an audio book. It's really good. It's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
book.
9 hour read.
Yeah, it's really good. Is that it?
Yeah,
I've been not trying because it's good. My ADHD is,
I do better with audiobooks.
yeah, I have to do audio, but
I
I've been
listened to it
reading
2
it.
days at work, and that was it. I was done.
Yeah, I've been reading it and it's really good.
Yeah, it makes more sense for me. I mean, it's when you don't have the time and the patience to sit there, open up and read it, but listen to it, I think I get more out of it than just reading it.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's a good read. He does a very good job reading his book. So yeah, go ahead, get your copy today, and or go on Spotify and get his audiobook on Spotify.
It's called life a
Uh,
life
a
a life
Life with Ghosts.
a life with ghosts.
Yeah.
Yes. So he'll be on, and we're going to be talking about that this Wednesday on Paranormal Brew at 8:30
All
p.m.
right.
Eastern time.
Yep, 7:30 Central. And then also too, there's a lot of other great podcasts on here. With Taryn's show, and then we got BB3 TV with Bobby Gale. Is that right? Bobby J. Gale. Sorry if I said it wrong, Bobby. And then you got Tom Nally's show. This is Tom's World.
And they
You
have
got the Dom and
Tom,
Tom show.
yeah, Tom Springer's stuff I never learned from a school book.
Yeah. So definitely check out the Paranormal Brew Network and the BB3 TV networks, and just go in and check out these shows. I mean, there's going to be a lot of different shows on in the near future, so definitely go ahead and do that. And yeah, so that'll wrap up tonight's show. This is actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. So
You kidding?
but,
I can talk. You know this.
yeah, I can do that if I don't fumble either. But she's Taryn, I'm Darren, and you've been watching the BB3 TV and the Paranormal Brew networks. If you do not have Facebook, you can go on BB3 TV, Paranormal Brew, and MGS Paranormal on the YouTube channel. So with that, I bid you all a great night. See you next week, and so long, everybody.